After 3 years of university, I think I've reached a place where I can make correct judgments about universities in the UK. From stories that I've heard from friends to visiting some of these universities and the things I have seen, I'm like, that's why we are doing today's video, where we are going to be ranking the UK Russell Group universities. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Praise, and if you're not, it's nice to have you again. So obviously I know at this point in time it should be that most A-level students have applied to universities or put in your personal statements to apply on UCAS, and I thought it would be fun to throw this little mix in there with rating all the Russell Group universities. And I honestly don't consider like Russell Groups, like, I don't know, I've just never placed such a huge emphasis on it. But for this video we're going to solely be rating Russell Group universities together. I'd say before we get started, take everything in this video that I say with a pinch of salt. It is purely my opinion, and if you have a different one you can comment it down below. I'm happy to hear it. I'm not too fussed if it's different to mine. What I rate things on and the reasonings as to why I rate things will be discussed, but for now I'm not going to keep talking. I'm super excited to do this, so without further ado, let's get into it. So as you can see, we have our tier list here. I've done it from A+, A, B, C, and then just gone straight to a U from there, because it's like, after C, how much worse can you get? My systeming of this, I'm just gonna pick one and we can start. So let's have a control. I am starting off this is the University of York. When I was applying to uni, I never considered the University of York. I don't know if I know anyone who goes to York. I'm really trying to think, and I feel like it's unfair for me to rate a uni that I actually don't know much about. It's got a beautiful and historic city. Okay. Oh, that is pretty. It sort of looks like my old sixth form actually. Oh, that's really pretty. For this, I'm going to give York. And that's because I don't want to be unfair. But if it does come to the case where I'm like, actually based on this, I might move it down, then we can move it down. But I'm going to give University of York a B because I like how the campus looks. I like how the city looks, and I think if I went there, it would remind me of my sixth form. I'm not actually, no, you know how some unis are specialised? To me, it's like some unis have LSE, the one I go to, they're specialised in social sciences. So, you know, they've got that punch to them. What makes the University of York different? If someone knows, let me know. Next thing, I think I'm gonna go in with Warwick. Now, Warwick was one of the universities I applied to, and I also got in. If I didn't go to LSE, I've always said I would go to Warwick. Based on, I've always liked a campus-based uni. I've also always liked just how it was set up. I liked how they run my course. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving Warwick an A. Or A+, because no, I'm going to give Warwick an A+, because I've just had a soft spot for that university. Even though I don't go there, I've always had a soft spot for them. So Warwick is actually quite prestige in terms of how international prestige, I'm pretty sure, and their courses are pretty good. Yeah, Warwick, you're getting an A+. Next up, let's go to KCL, King's College London, right by the door of LSE. I'm not a fan of KCL. Nothing against them, nothing against the people. I have just never liked their campus. Like, I've just never liked it. Like, if I could, I was never going to apply to KCL. Like, if I had it within my powers, I would have never applied there. Okay, one of my biggest issues with KCL is I feel like they're a university that has something for everyone, which can be seen as a good thing. But it's like, if you're rejecting someone for maybe they want to do history and you're telling them that, oh, you can do history and political relations instead. Like, no, that's not what they wanted. So I'm gonna give KCL a C. I'm gonna give them a C, or I'd give them a U, but I feel like that's a bit unfair because they are still a good university. Next up, Cardiff, University of Cardiff. I actually know someone indirectly who goes to Cardiff. To me, it's too far. As someone who lives in London, it's too far. I think it's good. Wales. Okay, well, I've heard the University of Cardiff is actually really good. It is in Wales, that's a bit too far for me, but it is campus based. I also know that some of the courses that they do there are really good. So I'm gonna give Cardiff a B. So nothing has been an A yet, but I'm going to give Cardiff a B. Next up, let's go for Bristol University. I never applied to Bristol. If I was doing UCAS again and applying to universities again for law, I probably would have put Bristol on there just to spice up my options. I'm gonna put Bristol. Bear in mind, I study law and I know Bristol is good for law. thought, so I'd probably give them an A. I also like how the campus is. I know it's really pretty. So we have our first A for Bristol. Next up, let's go for something I actually know. We can go for UCL. Now with UCL, once again, if there's anything, I prefer UCL over King's. I feel like they're a lot for everyone. So UCL, I'm gonna put it quite high up there with an A. I know once again for my course for law, they're good. Like the campus is nice. I like the energy. I also, if you look at their social media, they do a lot. Like their marketing, really great. So I can't fault them on that. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Next up, let's go for Nottingham. I personally know quite a few people from my sixth form who go to Nottingham, and they seem to be having the time of their life. One of the first unis that I know where the people balance having so much fun, but it also seems like they do get work done. And because of that, I really appreciate a university having that. I don't think some of the others, such as UCL, have that as much. And also because Nottingham is campus based, it's got an extra nudge up there for me, I'm not going to lie. We're gonna put Nottingham as an A. Yeah, we're gonna put Nottingham as an A. But then again, I'm not sure if they're as academic as UCL, for example, or Bristol. But I think for someone who, you know, you try to get the university experience but also get an education, I'd put Nottingham up there as being like the perfect mix. Next up, we can go for the University of Sheffield. I don't have much to say about Sheffield. For that reason, I will be giving it. I don't think there's anyone I know who goes to Sheffield. I don't know. I cannot judge. So it would not be fair for me to give them a U. So I'm going to give Sheffield a C next to our trusty Kings. Next up, let's go for an upper echelons. The University of Oxford. I did not apply to Oxford, I applied to Cambridge, but that has not altered my position on what I'm going to rate either of them as. I visited Oxford so I can give a proper view on my reasoning as to why I'm giving it whatever I do give it. I will be giving based on academics and education. Obviously Oxford and Cambridge are probably going to be up there right at the top. I personally, if I don't like where I'm studying, then there's no point in me like just purely basing it on academics. Looking at the culture of the university is also very important too. For that reason, I will be giving Oxford, I don't want to be cheeky and give it an A+ just because it's Oxford, so I'm going to give it an A. Not much wrong with it, but I didn't like it as much as I liked Cambridge. Or I would have, if I got an offer from Oxford and one from LSE, I probably would have chosen LSE still. And that says a lot, so let's just move on. On the note of LSE, my university, I'm not going to be biased. Having proper experience here, in comparison, I wouldn't put LSE anywhere below a B, but I'm also knowing that I probably would have enjoyed Warwick for what it would give me more than I enjoy LSE. That being said, I don't think I would be where I am today without LSE, and this is making my decision really hard for me. I'm gonna put LSE on an A for now. I think if I went to Warwick, I would get some sort of enjoyment whilst working hard, but at LSE I am working. So yeah, there's not much explanation. A is still really good. Let's move on to something else. Is this Exeter? I think it looks like Exeter. Every time it came to applying to uni, there were two places I would never ever apply to. Like I would never, you'll never catch me putting, oh yeah, I'm applying here. I'm not applying to Exeter because the stories I've heard from there, yeah, Exeter's getting a U from me because I can't. I really can't. I don't think I need to say more than that. I don't know what I would be doing in Exeter in all honesty. I don't think it would ever be the place for me. Yeah, and let's follow that up. Durham, which would also be the second place where I'm like, I'm so sorry babe, you and I cannot mix. Durham was a consideration to applying to for universities, but I just knew I would not enjoy it because if it's like as hard as LSE is, for example, then being away from my family and also being in that mix, I don't feel like I need to say more about that once again, but being in that mix probably just wouldn't have been good for me or healthy for me. So I'm going to give Durham a C. What can be given a B? I feel like these ratings are a bit not unfair, but when you look at the lines they're in, I'm like, maybe we should have switched it up. For now, I'm gonna put Durham in the C. Next, we can do the University of Birmingham. I'm gonna give this a solid B just because I know my friend who went there for a couple months. She went during COVID, so she didn't enjoy it as much, but I think like people that I know who went there from my sixth form are enjoying it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 unis left. Uni of Glasgow, I'm going to give you a B. Very pretty, very, very pretty. So I can't fault it. Like, yeah, I can't fault it in all honesty. Manchester, I'm going to give Manchester. One thing, maybe it's an issue with me and you don't need to come at me for it, because maybe it is my issue. Like, I'm self-aware and that's a good thing. I think I will be giving the University of Manchester a C. University, oh, Queen Mary's, let's do Queen Mary's. I've actually been near Queen Mary's campus. I did not like it. One of my best friends does go there, but she's like, she hates her campus. I've seen the campus. It's a bit, it's quite dull. That's the perfect description. But I also know they're good academically, so I'm gonna give Queen Mary's a B. Next up, we have Edinburgh. Based on the fact Marlene would have very much, my friend, gone to Edinburgh for English, and it's also very pretty. Edinburgh, a B2. Next up, let's go off with University of Cambridge. So Cambridge has always had a very special place in my heart. Despite the fact I got rejected from them, that does not stop me from being unbiased. After, you know, starting uni, I've still gone back to Cambridge to like visit friends, see it. I just love the place. I just love it. So I'm gonna give Cambridge an A+. A lot of my friends go there and it's nice. I feel like one thing I will say is that people who go to Cambridge, they might not see it, but they definitely change as people, whether it's in how they speak, whether it's what they do, what their interests are. Obviously you're evolving, but I just see a huge and major change from the friends that I have that go to Cambridge and what they do after in comparison to people from other unis. So, and it's a good change, like not bad change. So I'm gonna give it a solid A+. Next up we have, I think this is Imperial College London. Imperial specialised. Don't think it's fair to pick them against others, but I know they're very good. So, but I also know they're hard, but I can't fault them. I've also been to their campus. Lord knows why I went to Imperial. I think I was going from an open day from UCL and I walked past Imperial and I was like, oh, let's just pop in here. We're gonna give Imperial an A. Whilst we're talking about Imperial and how they are science university, basically what they're known for, today is a perfect time to talk about the sponsor of today's video, brilliant.org. So brilliant.org is the best way to learn maths, science and computer science interactively. Ever since I've left sixth form and GCSEs, I have not touched, actually that's a lie, but I've not touched maths and science the way I used to before. Basically reading an English baby now, but in all honesty I do miss it and I really was good at maths, so I pride myself in looking to find new ways lately and this year in expanding my knowledge and going back and doing things that I enjoyed, and that is why brilliant.org is the perfect place for me to do this. So Brilliant has thousands of lessons that you can find online and they add new ones every month. The latest class that I've actually been doing on Brilliant is the making decisions one. I'm not even going to lie, whilst they are a maths and science based and computer science based site helping you learn, it has been so helpful in transferring these skills and applying them in my everyday life. So the class on making decisions actually talks about computing and what steps and processes are considered during computing. It has really interactive ways of learning, so there are pictures and also constant questions being asked. If you work in STEM or have a career in STEM, so even if you're a student at Imperial, Brilliant is the best way to give you that advantage in your career or in your education. You can also stay ahead of some of the latest innovations and topics within science, maths and computer science with Brilliant constantly updating new sessions. And the best thing, these classes and sessions are not long. You can learn so much in 15 minutes, and so imagine if you did 15 minutes every day, how much you would learn and grow within a topic. They have such a wide range of topics available and sessions that you can do, which is why I will leave their link in the top of my description box below. So to get started for free, make sure to visit brilliant.org/praise/ or you can click the link in the top of my description box below. On top of this, the first 200 of you to use that link will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. So I know I'm going to continue using Brilliant just to elevate myself and also learn more. I actually think my cousins would really enjoy this because they're starting their GCSEs right now, so it would be very helpful to them. So make sure to check it out, and thank you so much to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Newcastle University. Newcastle to me is like Sheffield. I don't know much, and so it wouldn't be fair for me to like give it a proper rating. So I think the baseline will just be a C. No offense to Newcastle, I'm sure you're great and I'm sure sure you're doing great things. Oh, Leeds. I can rate Leeds. I can rate Leeds. My brother had friends who went to Leeds. Can I rate Leeds? Oh yeah, and then my friend's sister also goes to Leeds. I think it's good. It seems enjoyable, but it also seems a bit like, I don't need to say much, it just seems, I'm gonna give Leeds B. I would actually give Leeds a C. I don't know why. I feel like I would give Leeds a C or a B. Just in looking at what I've put together, I would probably give Leeds. That's a bit generous to me. I'm gonna go with my heart. Leeds, you're getting a C, because I do know about you, but the fact that I can't in my heart put you on the same level as Edinburgh or Queen Mary's tells me you need to go a bit low. Queen University Belfast, you will have to be getting a C once again, but your C is because I don't know about you, so it's not fair. Like, I'm not going to give you a U, but you do have to be on the baseline for me. Obviously, for any of the universities that I've put where I'm purely just putting you here because I don't know much, but if I do, I'm putting you here. Like, I'm happy to hear about your university experiences. Like, tell me, I'm intrigued. I always find it fascinating just how different our lives are because of how different our universities are. So let me know what your university experience is like, or which universities you've applied to, and also make sure to subscribe whilst you're at it. Oh yeah, University of Southampton, my friends go there, or one of my friends goes there. She says you find your people, the experience is like, if I was purely going off of what she had said to me, I would give Southampton a B, but I actually went to Southampton late last year and I did not like the vibe. It felt as if I was in Brighton. Yeah, it felt as if I was in Brighton and I just didn't like the vibe. I'm gonna give Southampton a C, and that's based on an informed decision. Final is the University of Liverpool. My friend that shall not be named, he goes to Liverpool, and I actually helped him with his personal statement because he was dead set on going there, but I think his reasonings were because apparently has a nice nightlife. So I don't know. I personally could never see myself in Liverpool. I'm gonna give it a C. I'm going to give it a C. This is my final decision. I'm not gonna see if I'm gonna move anything around because then it will get too technical and I don't want this video to be too long. But tell me what you would change, because I know it's not right to say Oxford is on the same level academically, but think about it. Like, if you're getting great education somewhere but also having a good experience, that to me, you come out with a lot more. But I think also being tested, like as hard as I am at LSE, has built me to be like unbreakable. I'm happy with what I've put. Also, think about the factors that I'm putting into consideration. I'm a black girl. I'm also a female. I'm also studying law. These have all influenced my decision. So tell me what you would change. This is my final decision. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'm really excited to hear what you have to say. Like I said at the beginning, all of these opinions are my own. Some decisions that I have made are not as informed as they should be. I've made that very clear. So take with that what you want. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like me to react to the rankings of universities, because I actually have not looked at it at all yet. And I think that would be quite fun to see how that compares to what I've put on this ranking here. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, make sure to subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. For now, it's been your girl Praise, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye. Go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday. We gon'